Run the track.
Everybody plays a fool sometimes, and you don't really want to be the fool this time. But in the bottom line, if you only let the small things slide, then maybe you will see the bigger picture shine.
Happy Sunday, y'all. We're going to get started in just a little bit, but it's Sunday. It's a cool out kind of day, so I'm going to play just a little bit more music for you, and then we're going to get into Where We Growin. It's a gardening episode. If you're not into growing your own food or your own whatever you'd like to grow, this may not be the show for you, but you may learn something that you can pass on to somebody else that you love. So stick with me today, and please don't forget to shout yourself out in the comments.
Beautiful day. I'm always my way through it, and I hope you do the same. When positivity is setting the stage, laughing at my troubles, blowing clouds away. Nothing can go wrong, and I can guarantee it 'cause I'm feeling good today. It's gotta be the moment I've been waiting for. A chance will never win, and if I let it go, I will be a fool. I feel it in my bones, so I'm gonna ride it till the wheels fall off. It's gotta be the moment I'm waiting for. A chance will never win, and if I let it go, I will be a fool. I feel it in my bones, so I'm gonna ride it till the wheels fall off. Oh, many people wanna take the easy road, and I don't like them if they're trying, 'cause at least they have a goal. A goal is gonna get you off the corner if you want it, where you want to go. I know, 'cause I got mine. It's time to shine. I got my foot on the gas. Let's go. It's gotta be the moment I've been waiting for. A chance will never miss, and if I let it go, I will be a fool. I feel it in my bones, so I'ma ride it till the wheels fall off. It's gotta be the moment I'm waiting for. A chance will never miss, and if I let it go, I will be a fool. I feel it in my bones, so I'ma ride it till the wheels fall off. It's my day, and I'm really feeling good today. Spread sun rays, shuffles fade, and I'm really feeling good today. Don't you want to be right here on this cloud with me? I'm on cloud nine. I'm on cloud nine.
Don't you want to be? Yeah, of course I do. So let's get into today's show, okay? Now you sat here and looked at this a little too long. Today's show is about where we growing. What does that even mean? Well, we're going to cover a couple of different things. We're going to cover all the way from the big, wide, what it looks like to be in the Black farming community, all the way down to the very narrow, where is the best place to grow yourself a simple cucumber or tomato if you are a beginner. So we're going to start big, and then we're going to get a little small with it. While I wait for a few people to join today's episode and join today's chat, just want to tell you I'm really glad to have you here. And see, we have Princess of the Powerful In the chat, that person sounds good. I need to cop her music. Well, let me tell you, you can cop that music at qsqueensanaa.com. No www. And you can go and you can buy that and you can play it for all your friends and you can tell them how much you like it. That's if that's how you feel about it. So, again, just getting into today's show, where we growing? We are talking about gardening. So, this is what I need everyone to do. Just a little bit of housekeeping. If you're here with me, please just take a few minutes to go ahead and hit that like button. The more likes I have, the better the content. And that's whether it's live on YouTube or on my Instagram page or even the music that I put out. The more likes you give me, I don't know, it just energizes me. There is a science behind it. Still working on figuring that science out, but I know it's true. I just know. So, yeah, if you can, just take a second to hit that like button. Once you've done that, just take a deep breath and get all the way into this show. Hey, hey, how you doing today? Good to see you. All right. So, the first thing I'm going to show y'all, and you cannot laugh at me, okay? You can't laugh at me. I mean, you can. You could do what you want to do, but I'm just asking that you don't laugh at me because I did my best, okay? And I'm going to show you my mini vegetables. Here we go.
Such a beautiful mess, and sometimes it gets out of control. But the beauty I see in you is worth more than diamonds and gold. I never seen God face to face, but this has gotta be close. With ceaseless joy, I plant seeds of love inside of your soul. Whatever I can do in your life to play a positive role. But life gave me water, I took my time to shower your soul. I hope flowers will grow. Whatever I can do. Such a beautiful mess, and sometimes it gets out of control. But the beauty I see in you is worth more than diamonds and gold. I never seen God face to face, but this has gotta be close. With ceaseless joy, I plant seeds of love inside of your soul. Whatever I can do in your life to play a positive role. But life gave me water, I took my time to shower your soul. I hope flowers will grow. Whatever I can do.
Okay, so I'm going to tell you right now, the artist is Londrell. Shout out to Londrell. Take a listen when you get a chance. Very positive brother. With some real positive music for you to vibe to, spoken word as well. So I found that music clip on Instagram, and that reel I posted on Instagram last harvest season, okay? And so what had happened was, I took a potato that was, y'all don't judge me, it had sat where potatoes sit for a little too long. And it has started doing that thing that potatoes do when when the eyes become more than just eyes. I know y'all heard of the eyes of the potato. The eyes become a little more than just eyes, and then you really have to make a decision about what you're going to do with this potato. Not quite in the stinky phase yet, right? So what I did was, at the suggestion of today's guest, I cut that potato in half and I stuck both halves in the ground. Now I know y'all saw the mini vegetables. I'm gonna show you again, but she said they're cute. Thank you. So those two halves of potatoes gave me about 20 or 30 mini potatoes. I could not believe it. All I did was stick them in some dirt and put them outside on my back porch and water them twice a day. It wasn't very rainy. And the carrots, y'all, I'm going to show you again in just a sec, but those little carrots, those teeny tiny carrots that look like fingers, I had planted those back during the when everything first shut down in 2020. And 2 years later, because this was last year during harvest season, 2 years later, I had all these little baby carrots growing in my little garden box. I was like, what? And let me tell you something. As small as they were tastier than any carrot I have ever bought in the store. But today's guest is also going to talk to us about about organic growing and about you growing your own things and you determining how well that thing is going to grow. So, without further ado, I'm going to bring on our good sis Taryn Fox. But before I do, I'm going to show y'all her logo. And please, please forgive me for how blurry it is because this is me and my non-technological skills. But this is the owner and operator of Agape, Rooted and Grounded. I bring to you Sister Taryn Fox. Hey, Taryn.
Hey, hello, Sanai. Hey, Sanai, how are you today?
Yes, I'm good. How are you? Can you hear me okay?
Yes, I can hear you. I can hear you. I
Good.
don't
Y'all
see
give it
you.
up.
I don't
Give
know.
it up for Taryn.
Hey, everyone. I hope everybody have an amazing day. It is such a joy and an honor to be on your platform. I'm excited. I love talking about planning. Anybody that knows me knows that. So I get super, super excited. And I think we're going to just dive in, kind of do uh, conversation. Like we'll play off one another. Does that sound good?
Yeah, I think that's a good mix. And then my producer Jim Savage is going to run a couple of visuals for us in just a bit as well, so we can also kind of talk about some of the visuals. So, can you start off by telling us how you got started? I remember you told me your story on a different platform, and I was just like, "Wow, look at this! You basically grew this endeavor." So, tell us a little bit about that.
So, thank you so very much. Great question. Agape, rooted and grounded. It pretty much started. It started during the pandemic. It is one of the many businesses I believe that were grown out of the pandemic. I looked at my bank account. It was not looking good. I was like, Lord, what we gonna do? Where do we go from here? And I'm like, show me my talent, show me what I'm good at. And I mean, I love playing. I looked around, like, look, you got a whole garden bed. I live actually in an apartment complex, and I had started, I had produced a garden for my community. And I said, okay, Lord, use this talent and this skill that you have given me, and I'm gonna do my best to cultivate it, for lack of better terms. I took what I had in my bank account. I went to the Goodwill and I bought different cups, different pitchers, things that people had used, and I repurposed it and I planted plants inside of them. And I began to display what I had put together, and people were interested. And I even went so far as I said, okay, I want to license this. I want to be, I want to be legit. And so I went through the steps to do that, and I finally got back my certifications from the Secretary of State. And I can say that I have now been in business. This will be my third year. Agape Rooting and Grounding has been in business, but it came out of a deficiency, a lack of. I had to look around and say, what can I create? What can I do? And it was my passion. It was my passion. I can remember sitting in the bank because I was trying to get the paperwork sent off and just crying tears. I know the bank teller probably thought I was crazy. I was about to withdraw the last few money I had. I just want to sell plants. I just want to sell plants. And that's how agape was born. Agape, it means the love of Christ, and so I'm actually showing the love of Christ through gardening. That's where the rooted and the grounded came from. Because I was driving down the street, I knew I wanted it to have agape in it because that's something my grandmother would always write at the end. Whenever she would write us letters, whenever she would give us money, she would write agape love at the bottom of it. And a lot of people don't know what that means. A lot of people don't even know how to pronounce it. A lot of people say agape, but it is agape, and it is the love of Christ. And I'm showing the love of Christ through gardening, through planting, nourishing gardens, enriching people's lives. Because gardening is so much more than just putting seed in the ground. It's the whole process, and you can put that into perspective in real life. You can put it to perspective in the gardening. Um, so yes.
Yes, Taryn. I love everything about that. First of all, I love how you brought what came from your grandmother, the rooted and grounded. You went into a little more detail about that part, and I want to hear about that. But before we do, Jim, can I have you run the first clip? I wonder if I lost Jim.
I hope we
If I,
didn't lose you.
yeah, I mean, if I did, I'm not gonna cry. Well, maybe I might cry. No, I see Jim. I mean, Jim.
Okay.
He helps me keep it going. So if I lose Jim, I don't know. I don't know what I might do.
We appreciate.
Yeah, yeah.
Hello, hello, hello.
Hello, Mr.
Were you guys
Sandy.
looking for me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Can I get that first clip?
All right,
Thank you so much.
no problem.
I'm Kula Badila. I'm a gardener, artist, environmental activist, and I founded Grow Black Hudson, which has raised $10,000 in 2 weeks and has built 17 raised bed gardens in people's homes for them to have fresh food. Grow Black Hudson is a movement to bring us back to our connection with our food and our knowledge of our food and knowing where it comes from, knowing how it grows, knowing how we can use it to sustain ourselves. I was raised here in Hudson, New York. Growing up, so it's been very important for me to know my environment and know the community and know how to be able to learn and share with the community as well. Just was important for me to make sure that we're all receiving, or at least do my best to create a space where we all can receive like similar access to these things like fresh food, organic food. I just started it at $200 because I wasn't, I was just like whatever, like we just need some soil and some pots. And then from there, like people were donating, and it just like started to get like grander. It just like really inspired me to go full throttle. I got into a very beautiful space of trust. Now there's 17 raised bed gardens officially established. Food is absolutely a weapon, and it's a weapon in the way that they push processed food to continue to cause illnesses and all these different things that make us suffer and have like long-term effects. They're literally like attacking our community by this processed food and this ill food that they're feeding us. It's also a weapon on our part when we come back into our food sovereignty and into our knowledge and into our self-sufficiency. Having the gardens right there in their home, don't have to go so far to get your groceries. You're able to like harvest right from home. Also know that it's coming from a fresh place. All the produce is organic, the soil is organic. I feel like it really, changes how you think too, as far as like security goes. having food security. As far as like the families that have never grown anything at all, now they have this lush garden. Having it there changes the whole cycle of like, I grew this, what I have here, and I'm using it, I'm cooking it, it's going to my family. It's like feeding bellies, like the love I put into these plants is like re nurturing all of these elements. The need, it brings the families together, it brings healing together, community healing together. It creates a connection with us as far as being able to all have like growth and not like our own paces of growth, you know. So it helps us to also check in on each other about these things. I see myself as a guide as well, as far as how I'm able to um, reintroduce these elements of our connection to the earth, to the soil, and to our ancestral wisdom as well. That's very much deep within us. So many people who weren't growing at all last year didn't even know like anything about planting seeds. Like are growing now. It's encouraging to know that, you know, just even you as one person can make a big difference.
Yeah. How many of y'all enjoyed learning more about growing and gardening? If you did enjoy that, go ahead and put a one in the chat. I think I may have lost Taryn. So while I wait for her to come back, I'm just gonna go through the comments. Okay, there she is. All right. All right. I think I got you back. Are you back, Taryn?
I don't know why it's doing this. You know, the internet has been messing up.
All right, I'm gonna send her backstage while she works on some technical difficulties. So just going through the chat, Princessa the Powerful, thank you for your support as well. Let's see. As always, like, subscribe, share. I see I have a few new people who have joined us. So please, if you could take a minute to hit the like button and go ahead and subscribe, I would greatly appreciate it. Um, Let's see. I did play a little bit of music in the beginning for anyone who wants to go back and listen to the show. And you can purchase or download and stream at qsqueensanaa.com. No www. And of course, show some love. Let's keep this podcast going with that QS Queen Sanaa Cash App. Any donation is a welcome donation. All right, let's see. Taryn, you good?
Yes.
All right. Yes. Wait a minute. I got to do it right.
Yay!
Welcome back, sis. Okay. So, you saw they were growing in New York. So just tell a little bit of my story. When I lived in Brooklyn, my great grandmother, I know I misspoke and said grandmother in an earlier show, but my great grandmother had fruits and vegetables growing in her backyard. She had apricots growing, she had strawberries and grapes on the vine in the middle of Brooklyn. And it was odd to me because that didn't seem like the environment for growing. But as you see, the name of the show is Where We Growin', because what I learned from you, even in your story, is that you can grow pretty much anywhere. So, um, based on what you just saw, let's talk about that a little bit. Let's dig into that some.
Absolutely. So I was able to see the beginning of that video, and I can pretty much tell you probably what was going on. Seems like she has been advocating for her community and had a garden that started producing fresh fruits and vegetables for the
Mhm.
people for the most part. Is that what? Okay, because my sound went out on my end, so my apologies.
I
Um,
got you.
so one of the big things is We have a lot of areas where it's a word for them, but they don't have access to fresh fruits and
Food
vegetables and things
desert.
of that nature. They're kind of
Hmm.
like desert places. Um, and so that's a big thing. That's a big thing in the minority community, in black communities as well. It's just a big thing. It's not having access to what you need, that nourishment. I commend this young lady on what she's doing. It sounds like she raised a substantial amount of money as well, and that's important too, because I feel like anything you want to do in the world, it has to involve community. You know what? I live by that saying that if it doesn't involve community, it's probably too small of an idea. All right, we need one another. we need
Yes.
one another, and I commend that young lady for what she's doing. The truth is, the facts are, black farmers make up, I think, 1.1% of what is a 3 point something million amount of people that are actually farming. So that's almost not even, that's what, 48,000, a little over 48,000 out of 3 point something million. I had to look up the statistics, and I was wild. I think in 2017, a little over 48,000, and that's out of 3.4 million producers in the country. All right, so that is like a tiny bit. And I think I pray that changes. But we have to be the ones that make that change. I think every household, every person should have access to fresh fruits and vegetables. It is not only it's not it's needed. Vitamin E, the vitamins you get from it, is just it's so needed in it's sad. It's very much sad. I know here in North Carolina we are in the 7A zone, so that's a little more towards the colder spectrum. If anybody doesn't know what that is, you always have you're gonna have a zone wherever you are, and for us here in North Carolina, it's between 7A and 7B. So we're able to grow pretty much anything. Be honest with you, you can grow in containers. I think the young lady on the video we watched, she was doing raised beds, which is another great idea. You can pretty much build a raised bed out of some 2x4s and some good soil. Okay, if you know how to get some nails and a hammer, you pretty much can do it yourself. It's an easy DIY. I've used what are they called? The totes. I actually did potatoes. I seen you did potatoes. I did potatoes in a tote. I've seen people do it in garbage cans. Um, Anything you could pretty much think of, you could put something in, hold something in, you could pretty much grow something in. If that makes sense at all.
Yeah, it does. And we also remember we went to that hydroponic garden. So y'all, for y'all that don't know, I met Taryn through Holistic Hustle, which was a neighbor, it was a community entrepreneurship effort. So she came and she spoke to the parent leader network that I belong to, and she talked to us about, I've had a green thumb for a long time, but I never thought to recycle a potato or a carrot out my fridge or some onions or something that I might have thrown away because I couldn't use it, but it still had
Yeah.
some life in it, so I could still grow from it. So I just want to touch on the chat a little bit. I had Jim Savage say, I've been doing research on what us melanin people should be intaking, and I've been planting my own food since then. And I heard what you said about the vitamin intake from the naturally grown foods. So I did chime in, and I agree with down with food deserts because those food deserts are a detriment to our communities. I totally agree with that. Jim also said, I like that of what she said about the community. And Princessa did agree. We need one another. And she also said we have to support our farmers. So I totally stand behind that. And she also said some people use old tires. Now, I have seen that, especially with some older folk in the community using old tires to grow their gardens. Did you freeze? Oh no, Taryn is frozen. Uh-oh. No. I need you, sis. I need you, sis. Oh.
Can y'all hear me?
Okay, okay, there you go. There you are. I hear you. I hear you.
Is she it? Oh man,
That's okay. You know what, Taryn?
it's
I'm gonna have Jim
it's
show.
crazy.
It's okay. I'm gonna have Jim show the next clip.
I know. Yeah,
Jim, do you mind showing the next clip? And just want to make sure Taryn gets some stable
still
connection.
frozen.
Are you there with me, Jim? Okay. Y'all bear with me. Every now and again there's some technical difficulties. Today is one of those days. And Taryn, if you can hear me, can you hear me?
When we
All
talk
right.
about we the people should be Blacks, Hispanics, Asian, Native American, white, and the resources have been truly been going over to white men. My name is James Elwood King Jr., born and raised in Atlanta, Georgia, currently here out in Seattle, Washington, with the Black Farmers Collective. I am the board treasurer.
Hi, I'm Ray Williams, born and raised in Seattle here. I'm the managing director of the Black Farmers Collective, part of the initial team that formed the collective. The Black Farmers Collective is a group of food activists here that are trying to promote health in the Black community and larger community here. And we're doing that by promoting urban farming and peri-urban farming to produce better food for the community.
Our mission is to build a Black-led food system by developing a cooperative network of food system actors, acquiring and stewarding land, facilitating food system education, and creating space for Black liberation and healing and joy.
Growing up in the South, my family was blessed with the acreage that my great-great-grandparents left us. So we had the land, but yet and still, you still look at fighting for various different opportunities. As I got older and started to read and learn a little bit more, it's just like if my grandparents wanted to expand their farm, would they receive the financial backing from like USDA or anything else to expand the farm? There are some things that's out there that's happening right now that's not allowing us to grow in the Black farming community like we should. And it starts with the banks.
The Department of Agriculture will start loan forgiveness payments to thousands of minority farmers. It is specifically aimed at Black, Hispanic, and Indigenous farmers to help combat systemic racism.
I thought it was a long time coming. This is something to actually start to take a look at historical wrongs, maybe a step toward reparations.
To me, it was like the first steps. It's like clap, clap. What is going to happen next? Is it just going to be a certain few? Will they really truly cover the United States? Majority of the Black farmers are in the South and the East Coast. Who in Black farming will be supported out towards the West? Because we definitely have some young Black farmers that are here that are doing some great things. I really wanted to know, what would the outreach process be? And not just saying you have to fill out the paperwork.
A federal program created by the Biden administration aimed at reversing a long-standing history of economic discrimination against Black farmers is now on hold.
I wasn't surprised when I read about the court challenge to the policy. There are always going to be people that are going to try to fight for any sort of progressive move toward reparations at all. Yes, there has been the discrimination, quite a lot of it along the way. You know, possibly ask them, what were some breaks that you thought you got in your life as a farmer? Maybe write through programs to the federal government and then share that a lot of Black farmers didn't get those breaks.
We can't be sitting here each and every day trying to convince them about our humanity. I'm not really trying to be out there educating. We got so many resources. We got so many books. We know the issues, we know the concerns, but nobody want to tackle it. But when we are here and we're in the middle of a pandemic, you see all these Black farmers that are supporting the community, feeding the community from their farms, and they're not receiving too much money.
I think for the Black Farmers Collective, it's definitely becoming clear that land ownership, land access is getting more and more scarce. And so for the Black Farmers Collective, from leasing a small space to leasing a medium-sized space, we're starting to think about how is it that we can find some land that we can purchase. I think land acquisition, getting it into the the hands of Black folks, guaranteeing it in this ever urbanizing world, guaranteeing the space to grow, I think is probably our big next effort.
This is a young organization that is looking at how we can bring more Black farmer voices together, expand, support, bring resources to the table to work with anybody on any level. If it's somebody who's coming up, giving them the skill sets that they need. If it's somebody who's been in the game and who needs another leg up, how we can provide that resource for them. If it's somebody who's been in the game for the longest, how we can bring awareness and help them expand too. That's what I look at for the organization and what we're doing and what we're striving to do.
If you've tried growing your Instagram account, you know it's easier said than done. No.
So, as you can see, this Black farming thing and this Black growing thing, even in urban communities, it's a big deal. Um, Someone I know, what's up, Travis? Thank you for joining me today. Someone I know told me that eventually AI is going to have all the jobs and we won't have much of a choice but to grow our own food and to farm our own resources. And my personal thoughts are what better time than now to learn how to make sure you have something to eat, even if it's just for your household. Or I see a lot of people with kennels and raising dogs. Why not learn how to grow what they need to eat, right? Um, and those are my thoughts. What say you? Let me hear you in the chat. What are your thoughts on farming and growing? If you believe that it's beneficial to grow your own fruits and vegetables, let me see a one in the chat. If you believe that it's pointless, I hear you, and I'm starting to see that now, Travis, as well. I totally agree. Uh, hey, Scom TV, you heard there was a pupil. Say a little more about that. So yeah, so if you believe that there's a benefit to growing your own fruits and vegetables, let me get a one in the chat. If you believe that it's pointless, if you believe that, what am I growing my stuff for? Let me see a two in the chat. I see a lot of ones so far. Harrison, thank you for joining me today, sir. Good to see you here. Mr. Tisdale, thank you for joining me. And thank you for everyone who's here. And for those who are checking in later, there definitely will be some more resources. While I wait for my guests to come back, because I have so many people that have joined me, I'm going to show my mini veggies again, and I'm going to show them twice. If you laugh at me, I will cry. I'm lying. I'm not going to cry. But this just goes to show you that even you can grow. I grew these in flower pots on my porch. So here we go.
Such a beautiful mess, and sometimes it gets out of control. But the beauty I see in you is worth more than diamonds and gold. I never seen God face to face, but this has gotta be close. With ceaseless joy, I plant seeds of love inside of your soul. Whatever I can do in your life to play a positive role. But life gave me water, I took my time to shower your soul. I hope flowers would grow. Whatever I can do, it's such a beautiful mess, and sometimes it gets out of control. But the beauty I see in you is worth more than diamonds and gold. I never seen God face to face, but this has gotta be close. With ceaseless joy, I plant seeds of love inside of your soul. Whatever I can do in your life to play a positive role. But life gave me water, I took my time to shower your soul. I hope flowers would grow. Whatever I can do.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Tisdale. They actually were very tasty. Like I said earlier, these little teeny tiny vegetables that I grew, they were so good that I ate them without even cooking them, seasoning them, nothing. They were really, really full of flavor. So to me, I have a thing about organically grown food anyway. Aside from the pesticides and all the craziness, right? Just the fact that you didn't have to put a bunch of stuff in it just to make it grow. It sustained itself. It grew on its own. So I'm still waiting for Taryn. She has some technical challenges, and that's okay. Taryn is agape rooted and grounded. Scum TV says, I heard there was a popular billionaire that's trying to buy up all the farming land. Is that a plus or a minus? Is that a popular billionaire that's for the progression, or is it a popular billionaire that's trying to set some things back? One of the things that the dude said in the yeah, hello with all the tomatoes. Okay. Hey, Savage Com Entertainment. This is my squad here, y'all. So we working on this growing thing. It's important that we as a people, not as a monolith, but as a people, have some form of sustainability. It's very important. I mean, look at what happened when everything started shutting down. You had trucks left here and there and everywhere. You had deliveries not being made. You had empty shelves. And I don't believe that any human being who has movement in their limbs and the ability to process and think through some things should ever go hungry. Should ever go hungry. Those are my thoughts. So I had two thoughts. I see my man Steve in the background. Hey, Steve, I'm gonna let you in just a bit. You just don't start no mess. It's a member of my squad back there. I see you back there. But in the video, the guy said, there's always going to be a fight against any progressive movement. He was talking about reparations. He was talking about how they were doing debt relief for Black farmers, especially those supporting their communities. And then all of a sudden it just stopped. Anyone who tells me that systemic racism is not a thing, we can't even have a conversation. It's all the way rooted into policies such as supporting Black farmers, okay? Thank you, Marie. Okay, I see Taryn in the background now. I'm going to let Steve in. Behave.
Good morning.
I'm letting Taryn in, our good, godly Christian sister today. Steve is Steve is part of the Savage crew. Steven, meet Taryn. Taryn, meet Steven.
Good morning. Good morning, Taryn.
Hey, going back to the chat, Linda Bat says, I would love to grow my own vegetables, but since I live in NYC in an apartment building, it is difficult. And we do have a farmer's market that comes on Saturdays. Well, I wonder if you have a setup on your windowsill where you can do a grow box. Now, I've seen some people do herb gardens in a grow box. And Taryn, I would love to hear from you about that. But Stephen, since you're here with us, what say you, crew?
All right. I don't know about this whole. I tried. I killed the plant last year.
Because I already knew it was going to be shenanigans. Okay.
So what happened was, okay. So my daughter brought home a plant one day, right? You know, in the school when they go to plants in a little cup, right? So she dropped it. Right? She dropped it, or the dirt came out, blah, blah, blah. I put it back together and I put it in a cup, and then I made it bloom like a big flower, right? So I thought I was the shit. I thought my green thumb was on point, right? So I go to the store, I grabs me a plant. I'm like, yeah, we finna do this. Finna put it outside, hanging on my porch and get it busy, right? Yeah, about 3 weeks it died. I didn't know what I was doing. I really didn't understand the plant. Like, I didn't understand what I bought. I didn't understand none of it. And I wanted to get some seeds and start growing it, but I'm glad I didn't, because the seeds wouldn't even grow out the goddamn dirt by this point. Like, because it's like, it says on the package, if you got to read the package of the seeds, you have to read the season. You have to read how long it takes and all of that. You know what I'm saying? So like, I would really be starving in this world.
Yeah.
I'm not growing no tomatoes, no cucumbers, no asparagus. I'm not growing none of that.
Yeah. We don't want you to starve.
Yeah, no, I won't. I need y'all to help me.
Yeah, we don't want you to starve. And we lost Taryn again. See, my feelings are hurt. Hold on one sec. My good sis is having technical difficulties. Now, Mr. Savage says he can teach you to plant. So you teach a man to fish. You about to eat some tomatoes.
I don't think his fingers are small enough to teach you how to plant.
Just don't. Y'all, Stephen don't know how to behave. He's part of the Savage crew, but he does not know how to behave. By the way, we have a show coming up on Friday. The name of the show is coming soon, but Me, Steven, and Jim. We're just gonna be misbehaving on Friday nights. Stop it all. You'll look into that since you have a terrace, but the pigeons, yes, okay. So there's something called what is it called? Is it bird wire or bird fence or something like that? And it's like some cross wiring that you put over the top of whatever it is that you're planting, and birds can't get to your seeds or your stuff. Um, and even then, you should be able to put something real lightweight over it in case they want to use the bathroom in your soil, because I don't think that's what you want for your fertilizer. By the way, please continue to ask your questions in the chat. I'm grateful for everyone who's interacting right now. Thank you so much. A couple of other things just to talk about real quick. Please, 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 please do not forget to hit that like button. No, I have some new folks in here, so if you are able to, please go ahead and hit that like button. Don't you laugh. It's not funny.
Please don't let Steve start.
I mean, they care about you. They want you to live out here. Listen, you're an able-bodied man. Okay. So
How long it takes to
according
starve a
to
human?
according to what Miss
47
Taryn told
days.
me. What'd you say?
I could go 47 days without food.
Do you want to go 47 days without food?
No, because I'm fat. So I'm not gonna do that. But I'm gonna need to figure out how to garden myself.
Yeah, man, I'm trying to tell you, it's very important. And from what Taryn told me, like I said, you could take something that's sitting in the back of your fridge that you might not want to eat right now, but if you pop it in some good soil, add some healthy nutrition to that soil, and make sure you water it properly. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I see those cash apps coming in. I appreciate you. See, we're growing right now. That's where we're growing right now. Okay. Thank you. So
There you go.
I was hoping that Taryn would be able to tell us a little bit about how to keep the bugs out of your stuff and how to keep your soil proper, because she taught me this trick, y'all. She taught me this trick. 1 part hydrogen peroxide, 2 parts water in your soil. And anything that's trying to live in there, the little grubs that go in, and it's these little big fat little caterpillar things, right? And they go under, and as they're growing and as they're developing, they're eating the roots. There you go, Taryn. Can you hear me?
I can hear you well. I can hear you, which is so crazy. I can see y'all, and apparently it's something on my end. Maybe I apologize. I even trying to get it on my laptop. It's not my Wi-Fi. I've turned off the Wi-Fi. I done started my phone again. The devil's a liar.
Yes, the devil. You see. He don't want y'all to educate the people. He don't want y'all to teach people how to be self-sustaining. But glad you made it back. Glad you made it back, my good sis. So listen. You taught me this trick about cinnamon and peroxide. Now, I'm a fan of the cinnamon. I'm gonna use a half a bottle of cinnamon when I start growing myself. But tell us a little bit about those tricks to keep the bugs out.
Yes. So right now, oh my goodness, I'm sure everybody is experiencing the gnats, the bugs. So there are natural remedies if you do not want to use any type of like pesticides. You can use I say put cinnamon in your soil anyway. Not only is it smell good, but it's a natural deterrent to pests. And you can also use 1 part water. 1 part water to 1/3 peroxide. So that is amazing. You can use it, and again, it doesn't kill your plants. It doesn't harm the plants. It's a natural pesticide. You can put it in a spray bottle if you want to, and spray your plants. You can spray the leaves with it. You can spray the soil with it, and it will not hurt the plants. So those are natural, and of course, vinegar. But don't put the vinegar inside of your plants. But you can set that out. You can set vinegar water as a deterrent, and you can set it around, maybe even inside of a little container, and set it around your plants. That's a natural deterrent. What happens is the pests, the gnats, they're drawn to it. They go inside. Apple cider vinegar, guys, let me make sure and they get into it, and they basically die. They get attracted to the smell. They come smelling it, and they die. But I love peroxide because I do a lot of my plants in just water, and so I have water that's sitting So I just pour a little peroxide in there, and that does wonders.
This is that good, valuable information. You got to hit that like button. This is
So
some
you
top
said
quality, self-sustaining content. Like this
so how
is
you
this
get
is
rid of so can cinnamon get rid of mice?
Now I'm not sure about
That's Steven.
mice. I'm talking about
I
like
got a Jerry.
flying
I gotta
bugs.
listen. I got a Jerry that that likes to show up like every 3 months, and he comes in and he just fucking runs across my floor. Like I don't get what he's doing. Like and then he runs around and he acts like he live here, but he don't pay no rent. But he ate all the poison. So how do you get rid of the poison? He ate the poison. How you
Give
get rid
him
of
a
somebody
rent
like
bill.
that?
Listen, if you give him a rent bill, I promise you he will leave. Just write a little bill and sit it next to his hole.
You know what? So I know where he's going. So I know exactly the route he takes. So I'm gonna put it there. So when he comes and runs into that, he gonna be like, "Oh, I gotta pay that. Yeah, I'm good." So
Opulent Jade, welcome. Thank you for coming in. That's okay. You could go back and watch the episode. We're talking about growing. We're talking about gardening. We're talking about gardening in the inner city all the way out to the big farming communities. And we do have a couple of really good clips so you can get some tips about how to grow wherever you are. Now, Taryn, I remember you talked about growing some things in the house, right? And y'all, because of Taryn, last year was the first time I was brave enough to try avocados in the house. Now, for those of y'all who know, avocados are one of the hardest things to grow. She told me, baby, don't worry about it. Just go and put your toothpicks in, stick it in some water, wait till that taproot comes out. And y'all, because of that, this year I have 5 avocados growing. Wait a minute, hold on, because I got to do this right now. I got to do this right because of Taryn. Okay. I have 5 avocados growing. Now, I can't promise that they're going to grow into fruit bearing trees. But for those of you who have seen avocado grow from seed, they are very pretty. They're very nice to look at. Oh, do you hear me, Steve?
I heard you.
All right. So, Taryn, you having some technical difficulties again? Yeah, that's okay. All right. Try it again.
Go out and come back in.
Yeah. How about now, Taryn?
She should go out and come back in herself.
Okay. Taryn, go out and come in. I don't know if she could read my lips.
She can't even hear us. And she frozen. She just took a picture.
Dang it.
Remember pictures in the booth? When you go in the booth and take a picture and it's a still? That's what she just did right just now.
You know that is not gold. Tiana, thank you for your support here in the chat. Appreciate it very much.
Where's she from? What's Taryn Fox from?
Greensboro. Well, she's in Greensboro, North Carolina. And y'all, like I said before, she is agape rooted and grounded. I'm going to just go ahead and show her logo again. Hopefully you all can see it. I am really, really not good with the technical stuff. So it's a little blurry, but agape rooted and grounded is Taryn's thing. And Taryn is a person I really, really trust when it comes to growing my fruits and my vegetables. Like I said, I always had a green thumb. Hey, there you go. There you go.
Yeah. I went ahead and got on the laptop. I have no idea, guys. I do have an idea. I pretty much know what's going on.
So I mean, you're good with the fruits and the vegetables, but you ain't good with the Wi-Fi.
You know, guess what? Listen, I've turned the phone off. I've turned the Wi-Fi off. I wasn't even on Wi-Fi, but I know the Wi-Fi is good. I'm looking at the bars. The Wi-Fi is great. I don't know if it's StreamYard, maybe with my phone. So that's why I got off of there and I'm on the laptop. Because I think I've been this. So I'm on Wi-Fi on my laptop, so I know it ain't the Wi-Fi.
Okay. So yeah, okay. So Taryn, you want to explain the avocado thing to Mr. Spencer?
So the best way you're gonna get your avocado seed, there's gonna be a layer around that seed. You're gonna want to you can either soak it for like a day and peel it back, or you could just kind of take your nail or something sharp and kind of peel that layer of skin back. And what you're going to do is you're going to want the pit to go downside into your water. I use toothpicks for mine, and I stuck toothpicks in them, and I let enough of it sit into the water. You don't want to submerge the whole thing. You can. I've seen people do that, but what happens is you start getting like slime and things like that. So you kind of want it to sit on top of the water. And what is listen, that's a process. So you're gonna have to have patience with the avocado. Okay, it's not an overnight thing. There are some things that you can put in the ground in a few days. You can see a bud or it'll start to germinate, but it takes a while for avocado seed to actually germinate, and it can take up to 7 years before you even get anything out of it. But it will grow a beautiful.
He said no. I don't have that kind of commitment.
You ain't got time for that.
Hold on. Did you say I have to wait 7 years to get an avocado?
Come on, man.
Or
Just
longer.
Be patient. Be patient.
Yeah.
What you mean? Listen. If I gotta wait that long to get something that fresh, I'm good. Like, why not? I can just go to my local grocery store. Like, I go to my local grocery store. Why not? I get the avocado there.
Somebody had.
They
to
already
do
did
that
the groundwork.
Somebody somewhere.
You be dead in 7 years. I don't need 7 years. I'm not gonna eat that avocado tomorrow.
Harrison, you put the toothpicks in the avocado to like form a I guess a way to hold it up over the water. It suspends it over the water. And so the bottom half of the avocado is in the water. And so the root realizes it has a source, and then the tap root comes out. Now listen, y'all. I won't hold you. It looks like something out of an alien movie. Once the tap root comes out, then all the little other roots come out around it. And then the avocado seed looks like the head, like the Feed Me Seymour. It does. It looks crazy. But eventually that seed starts to fall off. The water. So mine are inside of a vase. I put mine in a vase. I put the toothpicks in there. I suspended it over the vase, and then when the taproot comes out, it has a lot of space to come out. Yes. Now, the reason I do that, Harrison, is because I wanted to have space to establish a root system before I transfer it to the soil. That cinnamon doesn't really work so well with the avocados. They don't like it. I'm gonna tell y'all that now. But I agree with Taryn putting the cinnamon in the soil because ants don't like it, and ants will absolutely tear up the roots to some of they destroyed my sweet potatoes. They did. They tried to get my string beans. They had established a whole colony on the string beans. Which, Taryn, can you tell us the difference between the bush beans and the pole beans?
So you have to trestle. You actually have to trestle those, and I would say, as far as time, it's a little more time with those because they can come like you can get a few at a time, compared to the bush, if that makes sense. So again, that's another kind of patience with the trestling. You need to trestle those and keep those extended where they can grow up. It's a vine pretty much. So one is a vine and one is actually like a tree, if that makes sense.
But you get a bunch of them, right? Like I do remember my son planted some string beans probably last summer, and he was probably picking string beans off every few days. He had a handful of string beans, just popping them and eating them. Oh Lord.
Okay, that was good.
She'll be back. Listen, StreamYard. This is for you because y'all doing my sis dirty and I don't love it. This is for StreamYard right now.
Opulent Jade says she grew a pineapple.
I know. I wasn't trying to ignore Opulent Jade, okay?
But how long did that take? How long did growing a pineapple? I have a pineapple that I couldn't even cut properly the other day, and it's in my refrigerator, and it looks like it's dead. But
Try it.
Try what?
You gonna grow a pineapple from your pineapple?
No. How should I grow a pineapple from my pineapple? Listen, you have to guide me. You got to give me send me a page.
Are you prepared to wait up to man? I think it's like what 3 to 5 for a pineapple.
3 to 5 what? 3 to 5 what?
For a pineapple to produce. Years.
But for those in the chat, so Opulent Jade said she cut off the top part, and she did, and she put it in water.
Yeah. How long did it take?
probably a couple of years because at
Couple
the end of
years
it,
for one thing?
no, listen, Linda. At the at some point, the root system, it was like this much
Yeah.
of a root system. It was this full of now I killed it, y'all. Sorry.
Oh,
I did because I took it out of the vase and I put it in dirt and it didn't want dirt. It wanted that water that was nutrient rich. It was nutrient rich water. So I guess I put it in
so let me
soil.
tell you this.
Go ahead.
If you are taking something from plain water and you're putting it into soil, you actually want to try to incorporate soil a little bit at a time. You don't want to go straight into the soil from water because the plant, the root system has got so used to that moisture all the time that now you have to just put a little soil, a little bit, maybe every week, add a little bit more soil until finally it's all soil. So that's something too with any plant that you are transitioning to put in actual the ground or soil. It went into shock. What happened was you shocked the plant. It was like, no. Plants go into shock, guys. Just like we, if something happens, a plant can go into shock. But yeah,
I learned that like my dude he did like a little garden outside one day, right? And like the sunflowers was strangling all the rest of the plants. So it could get bigger. Like, and I was like, yo, what kind of nonsense is this? I was like, yo, they gangster, like, what you doing? Like, you killing all the rest of the plants, like, so you could live? Like, what type of nonsense is this? I was like, yo, this is real. Like, I that's when I became kind of interested in like what was really going on because I understood the violence with the plants.
Yeah,
So
it's not all peaches and cream with plants. It's not because
they crazy.
sunflowers be on weed time. They really do, and so do watermelons. Watermelons will curl on around the plant next to it, choke the life out of it, spread out real big. You know, that's what they do.
Yeah,
see what I'm talking about. See what I'm talking about. And everybody talking about this is crazy.
They take the nutrients from the other plants.
Yeah, you got to find you some sister plants, things that you can plant together. There are certain types of plants that you want to plant together, and then there are some that you do not want to put anywhere near each other because just as Sanaa said, it will choke, it will strangle, it will literally begin to wrap around and strangle the other plant, or it will take the nutrients that particular plant needs from the other plant. So you have to be mindful of what you plant together, and you can really look it up. I know I shared a sister plant kind of list, the do's and the don'ts, your beans and your peas and your garlic and your onions and tomatoes and sunflowers, those types of things. So potatoes and sunflowers, excuse me.
Potatoes and sunflowers. Interesting.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. So you stay dropping jewels. You just, for me, this is what I love. This is when I get bored, I'm gonna plant something. I just planted some sunflowers and they're already starting to sprout. Now the crows are trying. They tried it, but they failed. Okay, because they're not getting my sunflowers. All right. But listen, y'all, please do. Well, first of all, please listen. If you're loving the information you're getting, go and hit that Cash App. Go and hit that Cash App.
Sow a seed, literally.
There you go. Let's grow together.
If you have enough space outside, right? What's good things to keep the rodents and all the nonsense away from eating your nonsense, like eating your stuff?
That's a great question. So there are natural flowers that you can plant, like lavender, things that keep away certain pests and bugs. Now you need to know what you have around you, what kind of animals, what kind of bugs is in your area. Like if you got deers, if you're in the country, you don't want to plant hostas because guess what? That's going to bring the deers. They're going to eat that up.
Groundhogs.
Want to track? Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Groundhogs.
Oh, okay. They're gonna love certain foods. Oh man, they're gonna love to nibble on vegetation. But listen, you can cage stuff. You can put. They have knitting now that you can put over stuff. There are all types of different contraptions and things that you can use. Yep, peppermint, eucalyptus. I know I always say this wrong. You can use ellipticus. Am I saying that right, Lord?
Eucalyptus.
Thank you. Thank you.
Mhm.
Eucalyptus. That's a natural deterrent for certain bugs. So you really just got to know what's prominent in your area as far as the rodents go, and as far as now rodents. Pretty much, you're going to have to protect your stuff. You're going to have to either have to build fencing, chicken wire. Like I said, they have the nets now that you can actually put over stuff because birds actually tend to pick at certain bushes, certain fruits, and things like that too. So birds would be an issue.
They
So
are
it just
rude.
depends. I'm sorry.
They're rude.
Very much so.
No, for
Very
real,
much
they're
so.
rude. They are rude. Princessa said she had animals eat her baby lemon and orange trees. And
Yo, for real, that was ugly.
don't even get me started on the hornworms.
Ooh, oh my
What?
God. You gonna kill them.
Listen,
Kill them. I'm sorry.
they
I
like
shouldn't
this
say that.
long. They like this fat. They
Yeah,
squashing them is disgusting because they're
it
so
is.
big. So I used to take them and throw them out to the street so the birds could get them. You know.
Yeah. Yep.
They-
Any gardener will tell you, listen, oof, those things are oof.
Yeah,
I
they're
pass.
disgusting. Now, what are they called? Bearded dragons eat those. So if you know anyone with a bearded dragon, you collect those. If you can stand it, you collect those things and you give them to your friends. They're fat and juicy and really nasty, and that's probably what Timon and Pumbaa were munching on. In the
We
Lion
need
King, you know the grubs.
yeah, we need a picture of that because they look scary too because they look like they got another face. Like
Yeah. No, they're nasty. I don't
any
like them.
gardener will tell you kill it. I'm sorry.
So yeah. What's the name? So is the scarecrows a real thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's a
Okay.
deterrent. It makes the
Opulent Jay
bird.
said put up a scarecrow for the birds. That's a
She
real thing.
did. She did
Yeah.
say that. Okay, so the birds in my neighborhood laugh at scarecrows. They look at them, kick them to the side, and go on and dine like they're going to dine. That's just what they do. Boo to the birds too. And she said birds had a house party on her. See what I'm saying? They don't.
Oh,
The birds in the South don't care about that. Like
they've gotten
look at your scarecrow.
they've caught on like this ain't real. It's not
Yeah.
moving. But people are getting more creative with their scarecrows too. Some people are putting up like you may see like the shadow things of dogs or something like that.
Yeah.
So you have to get creative.
Now I know raccoons don't really like those shadow things too much, and raccoons will dig up your garden too in a
Oh my
heartbeat.
gosh.
They really
Yes.
will.
Yes, gophers. Yes.
Yeah. So normally I end my show. Well, first of all, Steve, thank you for joining us and asking the live questions. Second of all, everybody, once again, Taryn is Agape Rooted and Grounded. She is on Facebook. And are you on Instagram as well?
I am not on Instagram.
That's okay. You have a plan to be on Instagram? We need you to be on the
I
gram.
need help, y'all. Somebody gonna have to help me.
Third of all, y'all know, hit that like button. I'm always gonna ask y'all to show some love. Hit that like button. Yes, please. Fourth of all, we're gonna show these mini veggies one more time because I was excited.
Such a beautiful mess, and sometimes it gets out of control. But the beauty I see in you is worth more than diamonds and gold. I never seen God face to face, but this has gotta be close. With ceaseless joy, I plant seeds of love inside of your soul. Whatever I can do in your life to play a positive role. When life gave me water, I took my time to shower your soul. I hope flowers would grow. Whatever I can do.
Okay.
Awesome.
Those little potatoes, that was about half of the harvest. I had eaten half.
Oh man.
I was popping. I'm like, they were so good. I never had a raw potato that tasted good like that. So Taryn, I really do want to say thank you again for all of your tutelage and my growing skills because I was good, but now I'm a whole lot better because of the things that you taught me. So I really hold on because I'm gonna do this right now. Every single time we got to
I love it. I love it.
Yes,
Yeah,
miss. Yes,
actually,
miss.
yeah, I appreciate you and everything that you offer to the community. I'm just going to run to the chat real quick before the last part. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. What'd you say, Princessa? You saw some birds pour out some food for their
Mm-hmm.
homes in your yard. That was disrespect. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait
Not
a
for
minute
the
to these
homeless.
birds. Wait a minute to these birds. Food to these birds.
That's too
That is
funny.
very
That was
disrespectful
funny. That's
words.
funny though.
That is disrespectful. All right.
That's
That's
funny.
very disrespectful. Yeah. But if you enjoyed the show, please do hit up that Cash App and also do please show Taryn some love by following her on Facebook. Now, Taryn, I know I didn't tell you this in advance, and I apologize. But at this portion of my show, I ask, how will you just live? It can be garden related, it can be growing your community related, or it could just be whatever God puts on your heart. Stephen, I want to ask you too, but I don't know because you might say any old thing, and I don't know if I want to. But starting with you, Taryn, how will you just live today?
How will I just live today? You know what? I think taking it moment at a time and actually enjoying every moment, loving the people I'm surrounded with, the love that I'm getting from those that love me back, and just learning from even the difficult people.
Yeah,
So that's how I'm
that's
just gonna live.
that's real. Thank you for sharing that. Okay, Steve, I guess you on the squad. How are you going to just live, Mr. Steven?
I'd like to thank everybody.
I just want to thank everybody.
Like, I am a God fearing man. Okay. And I would like to thank everybody for all the trials and tribulations I've been through. I'm going to try to find a way to have some kind of a green thumb because my shit is blue right now. And we just gonna go there, and then I'm gonna go to the local liquor store, and I'm gonna finish getting some
You know,
cabbage. And I'm
get
gonna
out.
finish
Bye,
the rest of
Steven.
my goddamn day for today.
Bye, Steve. Bye. Talk to you later, bud. Thanks,
Thanks,
bud.
guys.
Good to see you. Out of here.
Bye.
That's my bud. It's all love, Steven. Wait a minute. I just had to bring you back to tell you it's all love. But you have a great Sunday, my brother.
And tell him to check the chat. I think somebody gave him some help on them rat that he got.
Oh yeah, mixing peanut butter with the
Pellets.
rat poison. But he did say that. Now listen, New York vermin are different, y'all.
Oof.
They will set up a table and dine on the poison while looking you in the eye. Okay.
Oh,
New York
wow.
New York vermin are just a little bit different. Linda Batts said that you were very informative. Thank you so much for coming to my show. And Lady Naveau, also good to see you in this space, sis. I love when you show support. Opulent Jade said, good stuff. I'm glad that you got something from today's show. Foaming at the Mouth podcast. Thank you so much. Y'all go check this brother out. Foaming at the Mouth podcast. He talks about very important stuff. And thank you very much for your donation today, brother. And thank you, y'all. Thank you, y'all. Thank you, y'all. Thank you, y'all. I'm going to end today's show because we've talked about how we'll just live. Oh, I didn't talk about how I was going to just live. Yes, I remember the pizza rat. He didn't care. He did not care. Listen, y'all, I grew up in Brooklyn. In the subway station, I remember seeing rats the size of cats and dogs, and they was just chilling. They was waiting for the train, just like we were. So we just gonna keep that there. So protect your produce from those vermin, okay? We'll just live by being intentional about what I grow, where I grow, and what I put in my body for myself, for my community, and for the culture. Taryn, I appreciate you coming and joining the show today. Thank you, everybody who came to support Taryn. Oh, you're gonna get a sandwich. Okay, all right. She gonna help you get she gonna help you get on the Instagram. Thank you, Taryn.
Thank you.
Like my good sis, Lady Naveau says. And thank you for your donation, y'all. Hit up that Cash App. Help me keep doing what I do.
Absolutely.
And Help me be great. So, Taryn, I'm going to send you on out of here. I appreciate you coming today, my
Thank
good
you.
sis.
Thank
We're
you
going
so
to
much.
continue to grow together. God bless you. And I
God
will
bless.
talk to you soon.
All
All
right.
right. So, for everyone else who's still here with me, y'all know I always end the show with a little bit of music. So, today I'm just going to play, I think I'll play Being in Love because it's a good song to walk away with. A little bit of self love, a little bit of community love. And I think that's a good way to do it. Now, if you think I'm wrong or if you have a different song request, y'all let me know. It's all good. Y'all just let me know. And thank you, everybody. I still hear those donations coming through. Y'all are the best. That's all I can say. I'm just going to play this song. I don't have nothing else to say. I'm going to get it together.
I'm just being in love. 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 Know what it takes to be in love. They don't know what it takes. They don't know what it takes to be in love. They don't know what it takes to be in love. Oh, we both know what it takes. We both know what it takes to be in love. This is something I can't control it. How you feeling? I just can't call it. I just know how I feel inside. I got love on my mind. You know that I just adore you. And you know that I'll come before you. I just know how you feel inside. I got love on my mind. I'm just being in love. 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 I'm just being in love.